So in terms of your fascinating career, what would you say has been the best or most rewarding moment so far?
I mean, gosh, my memory of what's happened all those years ago. I suppose the most rewarding thing, it was in my last posting in the EU delegation in Beijing, where I think after the sort of over a period of 30, nearly 40 years, I'd worked 22, 23 years on China, was
get rid of lots of them in front of you.
the fact that people would come to seek my opinion. So actually feeling that you had a little bit of expertise and a little bit to offer, and had gone in a little bit more deeply than perhaps the normal diplomat's life allows you to, was very satisfying.
Okay.
So I think that probably would be.
What's been the most challenging or the hardest part of your career or moment in your career so far?
Well, that depends. I think I've been very lucky that in 37, 38 years, I've only had 18 months when I've been either frustrated or bored. And I think as a percentage of anybody's career, and the diplomatic career is a very varied one, that's a pretty good record. But as to why, well, there's a whole combination of circumstances. But I think otherwise it's very difficult to think of something. I mean, the diplomatically is very varied. You go to different countries, you work with different people, you face different problems, and so it's quite hard, I think, to be bored, and that's probably the worst thing in life, is to be bored.
Do you have any advice for aspiring diplomats, especially in large powers such as China or the US? Or?
What advice would I give a young aspiring diplomat? I think a couple of things. One, get a specialization. So in my case, it was to ensure that I spoke and read and wrote and Chinese and learnt an awful lot about China. So I think you need a specialization, and hope that you're lucky enough that that specialization becomes a valuable commodity. So when I first started learning Chinese, China wasn't really that much concerned with it. Everyone was thinking about the Soviet Union or other problems. But then the Hong Kong handover and of course the rise of China has put that sort of specialization at a premium. So I was lucky. I had a colleague who learnt Serbo-Croat at university. And then the Bosnian War started. So he was lucky, but at least he had the specialization. And once you have that, you will find, if you're lucky, a niche where you can really become a valuable player. So I think that's the first thing. And the second thing, I guess, is don't plot your career too carefully, because you may want to have this post and then that post and then that post. You'll probably be disappointed because you won't get it, or even if you get it, it actually might lead you into disappointment and nowhere. And funnily enough, the places which you didn't expect to go to, or the things you didn't expect to do, may well turn out to be the most interesting. I went to Mali for 6 months, where people say, well, Mali, terrorist business, fascinating. So, I was in Afghanistan. Would I normally have gone to Afghanistan with my China background? No, but someone said, how about it? And that's probably my favourite posting in Afghanistan. So
kind of stay open-minded.
I think stay open-minded.